Hello. I thought I'd do a little bit with masonry walls here. I'm just going to stick a window in a masonry wall. Excuse me. And we'll just take a camera view of it. Now, I'm going to go through some of the things that you can do to such a window, just using the window dialog. We'll just open the specification dialog for the window. Now, normally in brick, you wouldn't have all this casing on there, at least not in the United States. So I'm going to go over here. Excuse me. Let's set this to 1 7/8, which is a brick mold, the size of brick mold, which is commonly used. Now, you'll notice when you put a window in a masonry wall on the Options tab, it automatically has a script built into it when you place a window into a masonry wall that it recesses it to the sheathing layer. Of course, most windows are not connected to the sheathing layer. They're connected to the main layer or the framing. Let's just take a look at that as a consideration. I'm going to use the backflip cross-section camera, and we'll just backflip right through the middle of the window so you get an idea of what's actually happening here. With it set to sheathing, it's actually connecting right here to the sheathing layer. You can see the sheathing layer. Here's the main layer, and there's the sheathing layer. And the window attaches here. Now, if I go and change that setting to over here on the Options tab, an unchecked recess, let's see what it looks like in both. Well, first of all, we'll go to this camera. You can see it's right flat on the outside. Let me tilt it a little bit so you can see this a little better. You can see it's sitting right on the surface. And if I open that and recess it, it's more realistic. You know, the brick is a facade in this case. It's not structural like it is in the United Kingdom, for instance. In the United States, it's mainly a veneer, and the structural layer is the wood layer. And I'm going to change that from sheathing to main layer, and you'll see it step in just a little bit more. It steps in another 7/16 or whatever the sheathing's set to. This is how I normally put these together when I design a masonry window. And commonly, I'll just suppress the trim. We'll go over here to the casing, and just I'm just going to, on the exterior, I'm just going to suppress the casing. I think it's a more realistic look in the United States. Now let's see what else we can do as a masonry wall. I'm going to go to the lintel and sill. You can see you can put molding profiles on here. I don't believe in Pro that you can make custom moldings like you can in Chief Premier, but you can add some things. I'm going to add an exterior lintel, and you can see a little up here in the graphic that something popped up there, and you can set the height. Set that at, commonly a soldier course would be about 8 inches high. Now let's click OK, and you'll see what we initially get. You can see it's kind of inset. Now I'm going to take the eyedropper, get the brick, and put it on that lintel, and you see it puts it in a perpendicular to the window. And I can further in a render view camera. I'm going to show you something else I commonly do. I'll use this material definition tool here, the little tricolor. And I commonly, when I'm going to make a soldier course, I'll change the pattern from brick to the strip. And we'll go over to the General tab and tell those strips, about 3 inches is about correct. So that looks more like a soldier course than the brick pattern. And on the Texture tab for this, there's not a lot you can do. I'm not sure that, well, let's see what this is. This is a red brick 5. Yeah, red 5. Let's see if there's something. I'll just open this dialog up. We'll go to the Materials tab and trim. See, basically I've got all the exterior trim turned off. It's putting something down here, and it's putting the same thing up here. I'm going to go to library material and see if there's a solder. Yeah, there are. Okay, I can see it now. It went straight to the library browser. Let me expand this so you really get the idea. See, here's red brick 5, and here's red brick coarse brick, which is set up a little bit better. See, it's got this as a texture, which will look more realistic. And this, I don't like this pattern, but that's the default pattern they put in. And you can see, though, that the pattern's set the wrong way. So I'm going to click on this and alter it. That's probably fine. We'll check it in a minute. I'm going to change the pattern from tile to strip. Okay, that's fine, except the lines are too close together. Look over the general pattern. See if they're set at 8 inches apart, and brick's going to be about 3, 3 1/4, something like that. That looks better. Down here also. Let's see what else we can do to make it more realistic. We'll go to the lintel and sill. It says use exterior sill, but there's no place to increase the size of it. Now, in Chief Premier, you can create a custom shape and run it along here and through the dialog box, but in Pro you can't. Okay, what can we do? One thing, if you want it a little more realistic, is you can go to the cabinet tools, and I'm going to put a soffit here. That's just a soffit that you would normally use over cabinets, but it also can have other uses. I'm going to put it up here on top of the window. And I'm going to take this material from the sill down here and put it on that. Of course, it's running in the wrong direction. And also it's too thick. We'll set the thickness, the depth in this case, to 3 inches. See what that looks like. I just want to look. Okay, that's not enough. I need a little bit of reveal past this surface here. So I guess we need to do about 6 or 5. We'll try 5. No, it's going to need more than that. Let's go 8. Okay, that's looking a little bit. I'll have to rotate the camera to check that. In terms of just reveal, I need the, where's the camera tools? There it is. Okay, that's too much. Couldn't tell in that. That's about how much reveal I want, but of course I want the pattern to run differently. It's running the correct way this way in this camera type. So let's just alter that. And I'm going to go to the texture tab and just stretch this out. Here's the scaling on it. The width I'm not going to change because it's about right. And change the height to 16 inches. That's a little bit better. Let me change that to like 32. Just want to get rid of those cross lines. There we go. See what I did? Now that's just for the standard render camera. I'm going to pull that over just a little bit more. That looks a little bit better. That's fine for this kind of camera. But let's switch back to vector, which is what you commonly use to print with. Of course, the lines are wrong. So what can we do? I'm going to click on this soffit object here, open it up, go to the Materials tab, click on here, and then I'm going to click on Plan Materials. And the reason I did that, see, there's the coarse brick and there's the brick. You got an edit button here. I don't want to change this, but I am interested in changing the pattern. So I'm going to change the pattern 90 degrees. Actually, I better not. I better name this. Let me start over. I'm going to copy this material. That's what I should do. Like I said, I don't need to do that, come to think of it. But this is the only material with this name I'm going to use on here. I'll just alter it. We'll click on Edit. And I'm change the line pattern in vector views 90 degrees. See, now the texture and the pattern match. And so in both camera types, I'm going to get the effect that I want. We'll get the brick looks correct, and the soldier course looks correct here and here in both camera types. And all the other, well, it doesn't show in this camera type. Technical illustration. I don't know why. wonder why that pattern's not showing right. Let me see if I can fix it. Oh, I see. That's red brick 5, and okay, I don't want a strip pattern on that. I want a brick pattern. And these pattern lines that are white, of course, they're not going to print when you print the black and white paper, so I always change them to black. Now it looks better. In technical illustration, should be better. You know, okay, that's the kind of the effect I want. Now this one also has white lines. I'm going to change those to black lines. So if you want to print the black and white, they'll show up. If white lines aren't going to print, of course, on black and white paper. Now let's look at the mullions. Open the dialog box, go to the lights. You can see you can set the mullion width. That's the, well, let's put some lights in here. We'll put, I think 3 and 2 would be appropriate. Whoops, not 32. 3 and 2, yeah. Yeah. And the mullion width controls how wide these dividers are. We'll set that down to 3/8. Okay, a little bit skinnier. There's the effect. Now, the only thing that's not realistic here is there's no brick ledge. And what I would do is just take this and copy it in place. In Pro, now, like I say, in Premiere, I can do something a little bit fancier, but this will certainly serve. In most cases, there's your brick ledge. It's not slanted, I'll give you that, but it is a brick ledge. And for like elevations, it's perfectly fine. It looks like a brick ledge, and it looks like a soldier course. One thing, since I'm talking about windows, let's put some shutters on. Shutters are fairly limited in both Premiere and Home Designer Pro, and by default it says set width of the shutters by the window width. I commonly don't use that because it's not very common. You see 18-inch wide shutters. Most of them are around 14 inches wide, and then you can just make them plain like this, or you can make them louvered. I prefer louvered most of the time. Just left to myself, that's what I do. Now materials, we've got shutters, a setting here for shutters. You can set this color for the shutters, whatever you want. You can also set it in window default if you're going to be using a lot of shutters. I guess there's one other setting relative to shutters, and that's fairly straightforward. I'll go back over to the Shutters tab, and you can put them set. Okay, in Premiere you can set. There's another setting that's missing here. I didn't realize it was missing. Oh, I see. That you can set it to both sides. Automatic. Automatic will, if you have two. Well, let me just show that. Let's take this window here and copy it right next to that window. You can see automatically it'll just eliminate the middle shutter. And we'll go back over here, go to the Shutter tab, and put it on both sides. It didn't automatically come back when it set on automatic. We'll go to, this is, so you can teach a lot of this stuff yourself by just playing with these and see what it does. See what that just puts on the left side, that puts on the right side. And in earlier versions, you didn't have this. It was just automatic, so it's better this way. Okay, that's about it. But those are some basics about windows in masonry walls. And I know that in the United Kingdom that brick is often used structural, and in the United States it's almost never structural. But there's some things that you can do to accommodate both. But I think the most important settings in masonry is for window and for doors. Let me just show you that. A door also has those same settings. Put a door in there. And it automatically went in on the options tab to be recessed. And you would never, in the United States in any case, you wouldn't see 3.5-inch trim commonly around a door. It's in masonry, you'd see brick mold. So I would commonly go over here and just change this default to 1 7/8 inches to emulate brick mold around a door. So we'll take a look at that. So there's some similarities between those two wall penetrations. So I need to move this over, crowding the shutter a little bit. I'm not going to move that window because I'd have to move this and this also. We'll just move this over a little bit. And you can add a lintel to a door in pretty much the same way. We'll just take this, copy it in place, and drag it over there, and we've got a brick lintel for the door. Just drag that up. It's not real elegant, but it's workable. Like I say, in Premiere, you can do some more elegant and fancy things, but this is, for most applications, this is just fine. And okay, I think that's the end of the tutorial. I just thought I wanted to go through some of these things that perhaps are not all that forthright and intuitive, but are built into the software. Thank you.